Alright, what's up? I'm gonna narrate a couple Uber battles because I don't really do Ubers, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna make a team. Meow, when I made one, and I played the battles, and I did a team preview thing. I made in Paint. That's fun. So alright, so I got the hourglass skin. So my team is this. I really just have a Reshiram and Arceus. His Arceus is like water, especially defensive. I have Sableye to like burn and annoy the crap out of everything because it basically destroys like every physical attacker in Ubers. I have Salamence to outspeed some of the slower dragon types and that aren't set up and hit them hard. Possibly Dragon Dance. I have Heat Wave too to handle things like that. Regice is here to, for the most part, handle special attackers, and ice moves also help. And then Abomasnow is more or less a weather breaker. My team functions alright in water, but I can't handle the sun, so I have a few things that can take the sun and take it out. And Reshiram's the only thing that's hurt by water, so if any of they're gone, whatever. And see this guy, he has 3 Ubers and Abomaswine, so his is like a legitimate hail team. His Arceus is actually ice too. And mine's running on 2 Ubers and a bunch of crap. So whatever, let's just see how this goes. I lead with Reshiram, basically predicting the Fortress switch, possibly. And he does lead with it. And I was going to go for the Draco Meteor to predict this, but I wanted to be safe in case, like, he predicted that and whatever. But I am a Specs Reshiram. But that Bluefair didn't do much. So whatever. I'm going to go into Water Arceus. I was expecting a Will-O-Wisp maybe. Oh, wait, no, not Will-O-Wisp. Well, I was expecting, like, Status or something stupid. And I know Water Arceus, especially defensive, can take it. So I just Will-O-Wisp in case whatever, get damaged and everything. And he does go for Dragon Tail. And now Sableye come in here. I think I go for Nightshade just to get damage, and I know that he's burned, so he can't do much. So I go for Nightshade, and he switches into Abomasnow. Now I see Abomasnow. I'm thinking Blizzard or something, but I burn him just in case. And he goes for a sub, which is fine because he's burned, and you know, being behind a sub with status is always the best. So now he Leech Seeds, and that's not too much of a problem because I can Nightshade away sub every time he does it. He is not gaining much. Sableye doesn't have the greatest HP. He's not gaining much from Leech Seed, whatever. So he's basically fighting a losing battle. I'm going to go for Nightshade again. Oh, just kidding. Oh, I went for Taunt, so he couldn't sub anymore. I forgot I had Taunt. Alright, so I go for Taunt. And I bring this Arceus Ice. And I will Wisp it, but I know that I'm probably screwed. And I am. He goes for Blizzard. Takes out Sableye, but I didn't want to switch anything on Blizzard. I just wanted to make sure what he was doing and that he's a special attacker. So I switched to Regice. And I'm going to sub up, basically knowing he's going to switch. And that's Regice is Subtoxic, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt and Ice Beam is actually really nice coverage. So now I can just go for the Ice Beam since thing's already status. There's no point in Toxic in it. But he actually goes for Rest. And after this Ice Beam, I can definitely tell it's Giratina, especially defensive. Because Regice has decent special attack for what you might think. So, you know, NU and Uber is actually doing an alright amount of work. And I go for an Ice Beam on Abomasnow. And it does good chunk for being neutral. And he's burned everything, so he's basically done after this turn. So I'm just going to stay in here. I was going to sub again. But I didn't know if he had one hammer or if he would break my sub or anything. And after the wood hammer, he would have died from burn, but I couldn't have been sure. He would have. I think he might have lived burn if he didn't get recoil damage, whatever. So he goes to Mam, so I don't want to take any physical attacks. But he actually goes for the sub, which is kind of bad because whatever. But Bomb Sub was Focus Sash in case I need it. I didn't need it, and thankfully Icicle Crash does not get a crit. And I'm assuming he has Snow Cloak, but that's alright because Grass Knot hits and everything. And that Bomb Sub is 4 attacks. It's like Blizzard, Ice Shard, Grass Knot, and Focus Blast, but whatever. So I switch into what's this thing? Arceus Water, and I went for the Water Judgment, and it ended up not really mattering because he switched into Recalls anyways, but I got paralyzed. But I go for the Will-O-Wisp to try to stop it down because this is another thing, especially defensive Will-O-Wisp, so it can take all hits. But after a Dragon Dance and Dragon Claw, just 35%. So either this Rayquaza has messed up EVs or something went wrong there. But I'm not a physical defensive RC, so I should have lived it, but I shouldn't have taken it that well. Maybe he accidentally put in defense or HP or something. I don't know. So he goes for Dragon Claw, and I bring in Red Dice. Red Dice is actually max defense with just a natural special bulk, so it can take both hits. And Ice Beam takes out whatever that thing was. And he goes for Earthquake with Mamoswine. He's Life Orb is taking damage. I'm just going to go for an Ice Beam, get damage on it. But Ice Beam actually kills, so I guess maybe I overestimated Mamoswine's bulk, or maybe it has better physical bulk, whatever. So he goes into Arceus Ice, and I guess the only good thing he really has to hit me is Blizzard and T-Bolt, which he'll show in a second. He has T-Bolt. But, yeah, I'm just going to be getting damage with T-Bolt and Thunderbolt. I guess he doesn't really have much for this Red Dice, which is kind of funny because, you know, Red Dice is NU and this is Ubers, but whatever. So I get a crit with that Thunderbolt. It really doesn't matter because this Arceus obviously doesn't have an item and whatever, but after it kills me, it'll die itself from the burn. So I'm bringing Salamence. Salamence could have outsped anyways, I think. Hopefully. I don't know. Maybe he couldn't. Actually, it might not have outsped, but I would have brought something else. It doesn't matter. All he has is Fortress and Giratina left. And Giratina's sleeping anyways, he's arrested. So I go for a Flamethrower, hits the Fortress, almost kills it. And now I'm going to... I guess I Dragon Dance just to do it. I don't really know what I was doing. But it doesn't really matter. He Toxics me. I can tell he doesn't really have anything to hit me with. He's obviously not carrying Explosion or anything. He's just up Stealth Rocks. I don't know. He has nothing to do, really. So I'm going to come with the Flamethrower, and he's going to bring in his Giratina. I'm just kind of going ahead in the battle because it doesn't matter at this point. And I'm going to kill his Giratina with Dragon Claw. And that's like a 3-0. So basically, this team with only 2 Ubers and like an NUU and a couple OUs beat this guy's like team. But I mean, he was trying to run Hail. I mean, that pretty much shows Hail as like your main weather that you want up. It does not work very well in Ubers, but whatever. And I have another Ubers battle for the same team against a different guy, so I'll show that in a second. Alright, I made another team preview. Okay, this time, oh no, I messed it up there. Alright, whatever. This guy has 3 of the same. He still has Rayquaza, Fortress, and Arceus. But this time he has Kyogre, Mewtwo, and Deoxys. The Deoxys is speed, though, so I couldn't find a sprite for it, whatever. This is speed. And I'm gonna, whatever. So there's a team, same team as before, whatever. So basically, this is more of a water team. And that's about it. So whatever, let's just get into it. This time I'm gonna lead with my Bomb Snow in case he led with Kyogre, because I have the Grasping for it. But he just taunts. I don't know why you would taunt a Bomb Snow besides like Leech Seed, but whatever. I go straight for the Blizzard, does a huge chunk, and after Hail and a nice start, the Deoxys is down. So without any damage and Focus Sash intact, Bomb Snow is taking something out. Here he goes for a Kyogre, and I don't know what he was doing, but he goes for the Thunder. Like, I guess he had Water Spout, Thunder. I don't know, even blah 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 blah. This guy's like dumb. Alright, so whatever. He goes for 2 Thunders and I Grass Knot, and there's his Kyogre. So if I wanted to, I could save the Bomb Snow for to beat him in the weather, but I don't mind the rain at this point, especially with like the X Water and everything. And I go for Arceus Ghost. I just go for a Blizzard as he Swords Dance, and that's pretty scary because this is basically the Arceus normal set, but Ghost type instead. So he has Extreme Speed, takes me out. And I'm gonna go for Will-O-Wisp, and it does hit. And obviously he'll have the Shadow Force, so he has Swords Dance, Shadow Force, Extreme Speed, and possibly Brick Break or whatever to take on those things. Steel types maybe, I don't know. But even with a burn and a -1 after the Intimidate, Shadow Force does 60 freaking %. And I'm gonna Outrage because I don't know, but it misses, so I'm not stuck in it. So I switch on to Sableye on the Shadow Force, and now I'm basically gonna Recover Stall him because you know, that's all I can do. And I guess all he had was Extreme Speed and Brick Break, so he has to go for the Shadow Force, but the burn will take him out. So I avoided that bad situation with the Arceus Ghost. Now he brings in Rayquaza, and I go for Sableye, and I go for Will-O-Wisp, and it misses. You know, that always tends to happen. So he goes for Dragon Dance, and of course I'm just going to Will-O-Wisp again. I'm really hoping he doesn't have the Long Berry because the last guy did, but turns out he doesn't, and he basically realizes that he's kind of screwed. But he has Overheat, and that's in the rain, and that did 76%, and I'm Special Defensive Sableye. So I just showed you that Rayquaza is a freaking monster. And I switch out to Regice just so I can take a hit and go for an Ice Beam. I don't want to have to Recover Stall and everything, or maybe let this guy set up some more. So I could take the Outrage, live with a little bit, and just kill him with the Ice Beam. So at this point, even though he's been doing some damage, it's still 5-2, and it's not looking very good for him. He does have Mewtwo, And I don't know what it's gonna do, so I'm pretty sure I just Ice Beam. But he does carry Aura Sphere. And he's Life Orb, so I basically bring in Reshiram because I know I can take at least one hit. And he goes for a Calm Mind, and like an idiot, I go for the Blue Flare. Even though it's in the rain, and I miss. And this is like looking pretty bad because there's a Mewtwo Calm Minding right in front of me, and I'm using Blue Flare in the rain. And even though it's Specs, actually Specs does 30% after 2 Calm Minds in the rain, but whatever. I should have been going for the Draco Meteor. But then again, it did miss first turn, so I don't know if it would have taken him out and he could have stalled me better. But it turns out he doesn't have any recovering, so he's going to have like Calm Mind, Side Strike, or a Sphere and something else. But after Life Orb and Burn, he just takes himself out after one attack. All he's left is Fortress, and I switch into Salamence because I could see that. And I'm just going to, even though it's in the rain, I'm going to start going for the Flamethrower. And this will basically be the same ending as the last battle, is me just killing a Fortress with Salamence. And once again, this guy doesn't have really too much to hit me. Gyro Ball only does 20% because I intimidated him. So there we go. I like this Ubers team. Even though like it has 2 Ubers, and I like using like an NU on it and stuff. I think it's pretty interesting. And Sableye is actually really good. Alright. Wait. Fuck. I hit the wrong pause. Alright. So, yeah, there we go. Fuck. Whatever. Battles aren't supposed to be very professional. That's all that matters. I did face my friend with this, and his team destroyed me because it was like more sun based. So basically, as long as I don't face like a mainly sun Ubers team, this team can do pretty well. So whatever. Thanks for watching. If you like my team or whatever, just let me know. I don't know what I'm talking about. So whatever. Leave whatever feedback you want, and see you later.